Okay, so the question in the room, and this is going to be a chat on this is going to be a chat on getting better and being honest, having an and how do you do that? And how you do that is first off being aware of what is an open mindset. Well, an open mindset versus a closed mindset. An open mindset is where you do something that's out of your comfort zone or something that you've never done before, and you're fully accepting that whatever the outcome, you're going to use the information from the outcome to then evolve yourself or get better or be more aware to get from A to B. This is how we get better. This is how we get, go forward, build on ourselves, is having an open mindset. We don't, do things out of emotion and then get a bad result and go, well, I'm an idiot. I'm never going to do that again. While a lot of people think that that's, just common sense, it's actually the most limiting thing you could do for yourself in your entire life is to say, oh, well, that didn't work. I'm never doing that again. That is what is going to keep you from being a better person, being a better trader, being a better friend, husband, wife, brother, sister. You're not, it's indicative that you're not willing to face up to um, tweaking things, getting better, being better, wanting to be better. You're just saying, no, I'm going to sweep that under the carpet. Forget about that. We won't do any more of that. How about you say, oh, well, and I tried with the spirit because I wanted to be better. And so, okay, I have half the equation. I want to be better, but I'm not better. So how do I fill in the other part? I'm attempting, not getting anywhere. How about I attempt and then try to get somewhere? And even if I fail, I'll bring some of that learning back and then try again. Okay, I still fail. All right, bring some learnings back, feed it forward, and then try and try and try. So, in a roundabout way, we're going to come to this question. Dear Tim, Tim, can you please give some expert input on the following, please? I am regularly profitable. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Right? I take my signals and follow the plan. Then inexplicably, there's the crux. I utterly lose control and melt down. Then I start again, build up, follow the plan, etc. And it's a reoccurring cycle. Why am I doing this? And I don't mind sharing this with the group, as I'm sure there are lots of others like me. Any help, please. Uh, well, welcome to the Agony Aunt Hour with Tim. um, read following in here with a comment. Try and try again until lambs become lions. Is that a quote from Reed? Is that Reed's quote, or is that from something biblical maybe? Anyway, I want to get into. Okay, now you read it somewhere, right? So I want to get into this because okay, you're in a cycle. Look at the whiteboard here and do a little bit. So I'm going to stop the share. But essentially, yeah, people hide away from the small little thing that they just needed to do extra in order to make that giant leap that they want. People actually subconsciously don't do that little thing. You've seen those cartoons of where someone's trying and trying and trying, and then there's the last, they're trying to open doors to get out of a room, and then the last door is the one that lets them out, but they're just so tired and they give up and they're done. I have a good graphic that sums this up in a video that I did that Anthony shared in the room yesterday in the recording section. Henri, I would ask you to look at that, but I'm actually going to look at it. look at the graphic, and this could be a partner follow-up video to that. Just let me find the graphic here. Oh, there it is. Great. So we're coming back to the process of transition. Okay. The process of transition. So essentially, guys, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you can. So essentially, you really got to sit with this, right? And think about it. Because just let me get my drawing tool correct here. Where is it? There we go. Yeah. So essentially, you know, this is the start, making the change, and really, you know, this is the happy point of starting to learn. And if you're in the markets kind of doing a bit of work, you're in, I think, Henri, you're kind of somewhere on this decline here. And how, you know, you reach the guilt stage where you're kind of, you know, at this point here, I don't know if you're actually at that point, but essentially, actually, I'm going to share this in a different manner because this is really difficult this way. And this will be important. Just give me a sec. All right, here we go. This is much easier now. Okay. So this is the Fisher's personal transition curve. All right, if you want to get technical on this. Okay. So essentially what's happening here, Henri, is that you're kind of approaching the trough in a way. You might even be at the disillusionment point, and that's really, you know, the break point for a lot of people, where, you know, it makes sense that this guy is walking away, right? You know, so, you know, the point of disillusionment, you know, is really where people start to say, you know what, this isn't for me. Like, I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and it's just not working. You know, I'm just not able to do this. And that's really a closed mindset. Why don't you say, I have a whole lot of test results here. I have a whole lot of test results. And what am I going to do with those results? What am I going to do with this information? Right. And so, you know, rather than taking a walk, if you walk, essentially you're disregarding all of the great information that you built up here, and while you're, you know, learning. This descension on the curve, you know, from the anger part of the curve, is actually good information. This is where you're putting up a whole load of stats as a trader, and you're finding out, oh, you know, I did 10 trades in a row, and looking back at where I was getting filled on the charts, the way that the markets were moving, there's no way I should have been buying that market. If anything, I should have been waiting for the obvious short. It's so obvious now, looking back a couple of hours later, after maybe I've stopped trading for the day, that that I shouldn't have been taking the entries that I was taking. I've been working on this very topic with two traders recently, and we flipped them 180, and I've turned an extremely overactive trader into a cool, calm, and collected sniper. And um, I'm going to ask if he'll clean up his fills chart to that I can share it in the room at another point, maybe tomorrow. But the point is, Henri, you're kind of in this anger phase, right? You know, where you're putting up results, doing all the right things, and then you kind of lose control of yourself, as you said, right? Um, you know, you're going to come to a point where it becomes a guilt. It become, you know, you might take just a bigger loss than you intend to on a day, or you might just bleed too many profits. Where do you think the Wall Street bets traders are on this curve? They're right here, you know, plus 2.5 million P&L. Wake up 2 days later and you've got 20 grand in your account. You feel beyond stupid at that point. You're going to be in such a negative mindset that you're not going to be able to think straight properly anymore, and you're not going to be able to objectively see objectively all the time. Is what you need, to be able to be objective all the time. Now, that's very easy for me to say, but I remember for the first probably 3 to 4 years, probably 3 years of trading, I would just be I would just be amped up all the time. I've got, you know, I'm gonna get it. I just want to see how the markets are. Um, I wouldn't really have too much of a plan. I would just be comfortable that I know the skills that I need. I know the type of thing that I need to see from, and when I see it, I know exactly how to react. And that's kind of where I am as a trader, and where I want to stay as a trader. I don't want to be filling out lots of paper, doing checklists. That is the opposite of the person I am, is to fill out lists, to fill out sheets. I mean, the only sheet I have is a page behind me, and I just want it there as a reminder. I surround my desk with reminders of um of of what it means, what trading well means to me. One of the best things that I have in this study is a bonsai tree. Now, can anyone tell me, guessing, thinking about bonsais and time and care, why I would have a bonsai tree sitting beside my desk, apart from the fact that I like plants and things like that? Can anyone tell me? Peace? No. No, not meditation. It takes dedication to make one. Yeah, you're getting there, Ron. Yeah. It takes dedication to make one. You're close. Attention, one mistake. Yeah, almost, Read. Greatness in small increments. You're getting there, Roland. Yeah. Bonsai tree requires maintenance. Yeah. Takes Pete. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. It takes years to grow. It takes years to grow. This is a pepper bonsai. This is a pepper bonsai, right? This tree is 20 years old. And as it grows and I shape it, if I cut the wrong part of it, if I cut the wrong part of it, it would literally take 5 years for it to regain the form factor that I would like it to take on over its entire lifetime. And that tree is within my periphery vision all the time, because it's all about waiting, and it's all about not rushing into making the changes that just jump into my mind. And it's about waiting and knowing that there will always be a continual flow of opportunity. And as I sit here looking at 12 different markets right in front of me all the time, I need to temper myself and not see every second, all the time, opportunity, get in, make a trade. The market's going to do this, the market's going to do that. When I see it, I will know it. And that's why that bonsai is there. All right. I have about 8 others in the rest of the apartment. But that one in particular is the oldest one that I have at the moment. And it's a reminder to me that um, I can wait for the tree to show me if I cut this, I don't want to get too, Karate Kid about this really, but um, this ties into me seeing objectively, right? Because I don't need to rush into the market. I'm trying to get a position for a family member in a marketplace at the moment, and we're going to, we're going to take time. I'm not just assigning the money to an asset like instantly. I'm going to take time to kind of wait and see an opportunity jump out for that investment. I want this to be objective. I don't want to be subject to fear of missing out, to any of this, any of the, what impact will this have? Forget that. I'm past that. I know what impact a good or a bad trading or investment decision can make. All right. This is bigger than I thought. This is always going to be bigger than I thought. It's always going to be bigger. And that's why I love trading and working in finance, because it demands the very best of me all the time. And I absolutely love the fact that it just forces me to continually learn about mathematics, about finance, about personal psychology, about myself. And so I embrace all of this. And when I get angry at my trading, I am no longer seeing objectively, no longer able to do that. So rather than get angry, get even, right? Get even. Rather than get angry, get even. Use this information from all your trades and sit down there and say, what sort of a trader do I really want to be? Do I want to be getting into trades like 4 or 5 trades, 10 trades, 50 trades a day? Or do I want to be kind of waiting for the sterling opportunities, the A-class opportunities, and only take the A-class opportunities? I mean, like there's an opportunity, there's opportunities all the time, but really what you should aim to do is to identify what are your best trades and what are your marginal trades. What are the trades that are just, you're taking them because you're getting a signal, but you're not really asking anything more, as in, is this a trade I can hold for days or weeks or months? So I'm getting a little disjointed from this chart, but I want to be a trader that doesn't have to fill in checklists, that doesn't have to write down loads of reports at the end of the day for even my own benefit. I'm kind of, I don't mean to sound brash or kind of real bullish about myself, but I'm sort of, what you call a big game player, in terms of I don't go to practice, I don't go to the meetings, I just turn up on the day, take a bat off the ring, and I swing the bat, or I try and hit. And that's what I mean when I say that's a term used in the US, like a big game player. He doesn't bother turning up to practice. He doesn't do any of that stuff. He just kind of comes in and hits it. And and now for me to get to that, for me to marry my, I've always been like that in my sports, my early kind of sports work, in skiing, um, in all of that stuff. I've always been like that. I remember I got into a rhythm where you get goes at a ski run when you're trying to put in a competition time. And I would absolutely bomb out on my first run, but I was actually just getting a feel for the course and how it was running. And then on my second run, I would outperform big time. I would outperform big time. So I was comfortable with that. I was like, screw up the first run, doesn't really matter. As long as I got a feel for a lot of the course, I might even fall in my first run and it won't even be counted. But come that second run, I know it's all on the line and I've got to do it. And so for me to marry that type of person with then trading, it's taken a long time, because effectively you don't get second runs with trades. So that's taken a long time for me to marry the person I am with the person I want to be as a trader. And this is the sort of thinking you should do with yourself. And so, the fear, the threat, this is all, the threat of the challenge, essentially. This is all part of the game. This is all part of the game. Here, put it in different context. Day one med school. Can I cope with the workload? Uh, and then you just go into this dissension of, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. I'm a bit squeamish, actually, it turns out. Think of it like that. So how do you think, like my neurologist, who, funnily enough, was looking at my back, I said to him, I have so much respect for you guys. Like you do like 10 to 15 years of just training before you even start to really feel like you're getting somewhere. And he was just like, you wouldn't believe. He's like, honestly, for me, it was almost 20 years before I felt like I was even getting anywhere. Now that's a brain surgeon, right? That's a brain surgeon. Okay. So, this curve is not new. This curve is not new. So, Sterling's gone. Yeah. So, you're probably in a bit of a dangerous spot in the guilt and depression stage here. Maybe you're here. I'll make this work if it kills me. Rather than take that view, I would just say, listen, use all of the information that you've had on this curve of realization here, to say, listen, these are the only trades I want to take, and I'm going to cut out the rest of that stuff. If you're not feeling it as well, it's really marginal. If you're not feeling the trade, it's marginal. Yeah, the dollar strength obviously is coming back in again. So I'll tidy this up now and we'll get this done. So really, the curve, right? The curve of where things are going to really start to feel good is where you essentially start to just accept, you know what? I do run up 10 days of good trading and then I just blow it and give it back. Yeah, I do that. But next time when I run up the P&L again, I'm just going to take a breather and really actually I'm going to cut my size until I see a really decent trade. How about you do that? How about you be open to this information that you're telling me, Henri? How about you be open to that, and actually you're actually, what you've really asked me is actually really something that you should be just saying to yourself. So Henri, if I said to you, hey Henri, listen to me, I'm regularly profitable, right? I'm regularly profitable and I know what I'm doing. I think I know what I'm doing, right? Then inexplicably, I just utterly lose control. I have a meltdown. and then I lose money. I just lose control, and then I build it up again, and then I just go out of control again. Henri, what should I do? What should I do? What do you think I should do? How can I get better? And how can I stop doing that? What information is there? Just anything, any way of quantifying this? How can we get into this problem? How can we pull apart this problem? You know? Yeah, if you're not feeling the trade, leave it alone. Like, leave it alone. I literally would sit here and just be like, do I have a little warm fuzzy feeling about this trade, or is there any part of me? I'm looking at a potential long in the Dow right now. Okay. And I'm just thinking that does not feel warm and fuzzy. That there's just a niggly thing saying, no, I smell losses. And it's a marginal area for me to get involved. Not interested. Boom. Next thing. I've got a million and one other things I need to be doing right now than sweating some bullshit area in the Dow. Move on. So, it's people who run up their P&L or run down their P&L in the morning and then run it back up in the afternoon. Those people are the ones who should really stay out of the way of those marginal idea trades where, oh yeah, I think I like the look of this or that or whatever in the morning. No, you don't. You don't. You just want the action. You just want to get wet. You just want to get in the water, get wet, and swim around. That's what you're really just trying to do. So stop doing that. You don't need to get wet just to get wet. You don't need action to just get action. If you want that, live next door to a bookies and go down to the bookies in the morning and bet on the ponies. Forget about it. Like, how about you wait until the afternoon session where the non-marginal trades appear and you guys and girls can kill it? Why don't you do that? Yes, yeah, exactly, Reed. People scratching itches, stop getting itchy in the morning time. I mean, yeah, I'm always, every morning I'm hungry to get to the desk. But I'm hungry for the information of what the day might bring on the news flow more so. And if I see, like this morning, that the news flow is up, it hasn't changed since 9 o'clock last night and 9:30 last night, then, there's nothing really to be jumping at here. So, look at this process of transition and put yourself on it. Put yourself on it. Where are you? And if you're in the area here of gradual acceptance, then you are on your way. You are on your way to really being the person and the trader that you actually want to be, because you're accepting of the flaws. You're accepting of your flaws. So that's really important. Accept the flaws. Think and remain objective at all times. As in, okay, I'm setting out as a trader to do tens of thousands of trades over my career. What do I care that I took a bomber on gold or oil or whatever, as long as I'm using moderate risk? I don't care. I don't. It's one of a gazillion data points that will be my career. So the only thing I can do with that information is feed it into analyzing me as a trader, analyzing how I have gone off the rails or I'm staying on the rails of my plan. That's the only thing I can do with that information. But most people choose to not do this, right? Not do this, and they get emotional. Oh, they get emotional with guilt, with depression. This drives them into feeling hostile. You know, people who say they're compulsive gamblers, I mean, I really feel sorry for people who are in, you know, who have to suffer that. We all as traders have to, you know, live only a heartbeat away from being being labeled as, you know, gambling junkies and whatnot. Um, you know, and it's just gambling. People would say to you, and we live a heartbeat away from that, you know. And some people say, well, it's not gambling if you know what you're doing. Um, you know, and it's a fine line, really. It is a fine line. Um, so the thing with people who kind of just look at it as gambling, really are just, from my point of view and my experience, they are entirely emotional about that whole process, and they're entirely emotional about putting money at risk. And you know, some people say straight away, oh, I couldn't do that. I just couldn't handle the volatility, fluctuations, the highs and lows. Well, those people are probably quite emotional people. I'm not saying you don't have to have, or you shouldn't have emotions as a trader, but it helps to be able to control your emotions and remain objective. Okay, so Henri, I hope this is helpful. And hopefully you can stop feeling frustrated and start to take this information and evolve yourself using this rhythm and pattern you've noticed in yourself. All right, that's going to be me until this evening. So we'll just do a quick spot check around these markets, and I'll pause the recording here. Thanks.